In today's Real Talk with Agent Corpus Limited, headlining that society grapples with alarming prevalence of murder, plunging civilization into perpetual turmoil. In a world marred by violence and social unrest, the pervasive occurrence of murder has become an all too familiar aspect of human civilization. As societies continue to grapple with this distressing reality, experts are tirelessly examining the underlying factors that contribute to this widespread turmoil. From socioeconomic disparities to psychological vulnerabilities, a myriad of reasons have been identified as potential drivers of this grim phenomenon. Societal inequality emerges as a significant force behind the perpetuation of murder within communities. The growing chasm between the haves and have-nots has engendered deep-rooted resentment, desperation, and hopelessness among marginalized individuals, struggling to meet their basic needs. Some individuals turn to criminal activities, including murder, as a means of survival or to vent their frustrations. The lack of access to education, healthcare, and employment opportunities further exacerbates these tensions, resulting in a continuous cycle of violence. Psychological factors also play a pivotal role in the prevalence of murder. Mental health disorders, including but not limited to psychopathy and severe personality disorders, have been identified as risk factors for violent behavior. The absence of adequate mental health services and stigma surrounding mental illnesses hinder timely diagnosis and treatment, thereby contributing to the escalation of violence within society. Furthermore, unaddressed trauma and childhood abuse can also contribute to an individual's propensity towards committing murder. The proliferation of firearms and the ease of access to weapons also amplify the gravity of the issue. In many parts of the world, gun violence is a prevalent means of perpetrating murder, often leading to higher fatality rates. Efforts to regulate the sale, possession, and use of firearms have been met with heated debates, as proponents argue for the preservation of individual rights while opponents push for stricter gun control measures to curb the rising tide of violence. The impact of media and popular culture cannot be overlooked. The glorification of violence in movies, video games, and music, combined with the desensitization of viewers, has desensitized individuals to the gravity of taking another person's life. The lines between fiction and reality become blurred, leading some individuals to view murder as a means of attaining notoriety. As societies grapple with these underlying factors, efforts are being made to address the root causes of murder and mitigate its devastating effects. Initiatives focused on poverty reduction, social welfare programs, and the provision of quality education aim to uplift marginalized communities and offer them a path out of desperation and violence. Equally important is the recognition of mental health as an integral component of overall well-being, with increased investment in mental health services and the eradication of stigma. Law enforcement agencies are also challenged to enhance their strategies for crime prevention and investigation, while legal systems strive for more effective deterrence and rehabilitation measures. Communities are encouraged to actively participate in building safer environments by fostering social cohesion, promoting conflict resolution, and reporting suspicious activities. The battle against murder and the turmoil it perpetuates is an arduous one, demanding collective action, systemic changes, and a comprehensive approach. It is only through addressing the root causes, providing equal opportunities, and prioritizing mental health that societies can hope to reverse the distressing trend and create a safer, more harmonious world for future generations. 1970, the beginning of another period of fear and cautiousness. 4 U.S.-bound aircrafts were seized and redirected to the Center East by Palestinian fear-based oppressors. The 1970s, the 10 years that global psychological warfare truly grew up, Richard Nixon's head of staff H.R. Holderman composed at the time that the president was extremely restless to foster some emotional organization activity about hijackings lead, intense, stunning advances, particularly monitors on planes. Nixon himself wrote in a proclamation that the danger of air robbery should be met. In Mentor and to a world new to this degree of beast security after September 11, 2001 having only now been about 22 years, we as a whole realize that it just takes one fan and a little misfortune to get a carrier seized. An important aspect to remember is how hyperconnected every year the world got, and the fact plenty of radicalized members of society become recruited. The pressures of video content and how the human brain relates to real-time popular news distribution. When a person goes beyond the threshold of their limit of being ostracized by society, it is important to remember when it happens to one human it can happen to another too, in relation to mental illness and/or being recruited into getting wrapped up into a life they did not foresee. Thank you for watching. Please press like on this video, turn on our notifications, share, comment and subscribe. Until next time, this is Agent Corpus Ltd.